What do you think of iPad OS's floating windows or anything that was announced at WWDC?
I haven't watched the announcement. I didn't even watch our video yet. I will.
Neither have I.
The truth is, like, that ecosystem, no amount of floating window or new icon pack is going to make that ecosystem make sense for me. I use my computer for gaming. I like rolling my own crap via like Plex and like having a home server and stuff. I just Apple would need to seriously change its approach and attitude to even begin to court me as a customer.
Yeah, like core parts of it.
Yeah. Like if Apple took a run at Framework in terms of disclosure, I'm invested in Framework, in terms of, repairability of their devices, you got my attention. But they're not. They just keep pulling the same crap over and over and over and over again. And we just keep lying down and taking it over and over and over and over again. So there's no one to blame but ourselves, like consumers, I mean.
Well, they did announce gaming on Mac with two examples, No Man's Sky and Resident Evil Village. Neither look like they run great. But gaming is coming to Mac.
Gaming's not coming to Mac. Gaming has always been on the Mac. They just forgot.
Oh, yeah. It's just always been like almost no games. Like Blizzard had a lot of support
there
back
has
in the
not
day.
always been no games. Back in the 90s, gaming on
I
Mac
didn't
was
even know.
freaking huge.
Yeah,
And Apple just
makes sense.
crapped on it.
Original, what
They
was
just
it?
got too cool for games. And the irony of it, is
Marathon or something?
they spent so much of their marketing resources on branding the PC as boring and for business when they were cool and for entertainment. What the Apple? Like why?
Yeah, like Bungie, company that went on to make Halo and then Destiny and stuff. If I remember correctly, they originally were an Apple essentially only game developer. Their first game I think was Marathon. I believe it was called Marathon.
It's baffling, man. Like there's old keynotes where you see Steve Jobs talking about how amazing gaming is on the Mac. Like they just only care about money. That's why gaming is such a huge focus for them on iPad and iPhone, because that's where they can profit from the microtransactions. That's why they don't give about Mac.
They should they should
What?
they should have just made their own store like Steam.
Well, they have their own store.
They should have just made their own game store on Mac.
Yeah, they could, but the problem was that with the Mac, if they clawed back the ability to just install .dmgs from anywhere, users would revolt. It's just that we accept it on iOS because, well, it's for our security. It's for our own well-being. Apple's taking care of us. Sorry, there's a whole thing. Poor Jonathan Horst wrote in here about the WWDC 2022 announcements.
Oh.
Why don't we talk a little bit about...
There's probably okay.
M2 is better and more efficient, has a more powerful GPU, still Thunderbolt 3/USB 4, same graphs as ever. I feel like he's gotten so much more cynical about Apple since he started working
I really
here.
think so. Redesigned MacBook Air. It looks like a much thinner, fanless MacBook Pro with MagSafe 3 and a notch. No ProMotion or XDR, but brighter at 500 nits. 10-bit display, 1080p webcam. M2 processor still only supports one external display. Price around $1,200.
Okay, software stuff. Pick your faves, it says. iOS 6 has a more customizable lock screen. Cool. Can I put my icons wherever I want on my home screen?
No?
No? Okay,
Dang.
well, why yourself then? Because that's really stupid.
Yep.
Like, it's just, you got to imagine it. You got to imagine the meeting where every once in a while someone brings this up like, hey, should we like finally do that? And it's like, no, there must be some stupid, just asinine philosophical reason for not doing it. Ugh.
Yeah.
Metal 3? Oh,
I
with
did-
Metal
I did-
FX upscaling.
I will say, actually, someone sent me a bunch of tweets after the last WAN show where we talked about that, and we showed both our phones about how our home screens are clear. There is some weird kind of janky way to sort of do
Yeah,
it.
you can put an invisible icon
Yeah.
down, I think.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's really stupid.
But I think it's cool that you thought about that and did that. It's just stupid that that's what you have to do.
But yeah, Metal 3 has like DLSS, fidelity effects style, like upscaling now, which is cool. Cross-platform features and services. You can mark as unread in iMessage. iMessage didn't support mark as unread.
Speaking of security things, there's a new feature on watchOS 9, medication reminders and logging. Scan your drug, schedule it, and be alerted of any potential bad drug interactions.
Oh, that sounds like a liability nightmare, but that's a cool feature.
It sure does sound like a liability nightmare.
Yeah. Oof. Huh.
It does sound like a cool feature, but like, dang.
Like a very cool feature, but if I was Apple, there is no way.
I wouldn't want to hold that information.
Well, I don't even mean that. I
At
mean, screening for drug interactions. What if they get it wrong?
Being like responsible for that?
Yeah.
Spooky. Very spooky.
Drug interactions are a big deal. macOS 13 lets virtual machines run apps via Rosetta, and non-Apple SoCs can unofficially run Rosetta too, which is pretty cool because it means that you could use Apple's Rosetta on like a Snapdragon machine and run x86 applications.
Cool.
Yeah. That wasn't talked about during WWDC, but it's pretty freaking cool. Anthony put this in. There's a whole bunch of super technical stuff here that I'm sure we'll get into in more detail when we actually make a video about it, but it is not this day.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to Secret Lab for sponsoring this week's clips. Secret Lab chairs are engineered to keep you comfy, and with up to 5 years of warranty and a 49-day return policy, you're covered if anything goes wrong. Head to the link in the description to get your Secret Lab chair today.